Well, today got this 1¼ inch square tubing. So this is going to be my trailer hitch adapter for tying down the back of my kayak on the kayak rack on my car. So let's go see how it fits. Alright, that should fit right there. Oh, we're a little tight. Alright, that's okay. So we got to hit it with the flap wheel, but I'll get some measurements here. That's where the pin goes. So it just needs to be that far, and I need it to extend out right about there. So I can cut this bar in half and it should be just about right. So first we're gonna have to figure out the best way to kind of grind this down a bit. I'm gonna hit the corners first and then a little bit on the sides. Let's see if this fits. Oh yeah, perfect. All right, I just want to get a clamp. Got my pin. This is my new Wall-O tools. I just finished it today. Well, I'm still waiting to get the power strip to go right there, and that'll power all these guys here and get rid of the extension cords. But yeah, that came out great. All right, got it set where I want it. The rock measures half the tube, so that's where I'm probably going to cut it. But I'll put this clamp here. Okay, that'll keep it stuck in there. And I'll use a pen to outline the holes where the pin will go. And I'll grab the pin. This is my trailer hitch. I think it's just a 1/2 inch. Hopefully it's just a 1/2 inch or smaller, because I don't have anything bigger than a 1/2 inch drill bit. Just going to use a center punch, mark my center where I'm going to drill, and I'll do a pilot hole and then drill it out. So got it all set up in the old drill press there. Got the lasers squared up, lights on. Drop a little bit of oil, keep it cool. Here's a new tool I picked up as well. I finally got a decent set of calipers. So what I'm going to do is find out what size drill bit I need to use, if I have one big enough. No, that's not even close. This is the largest drill bit I've got, and that's close, so I'm just going to have to ream it out, but that'll have to do. It's loaded. Let's run this guy. There we go. Alright, that'll work. Alright, it's one-way fitting, but that'll work. Alright, got my new helmet on. Gonna ride my bike. I love my bike. So we're gonna go to Home Depot here real quick. Pick up an eye bolt. That prevents rain getting into my gas tank. Stay. Alright, we're out of here. Alright, got an eye bolt $1.50. So that'll go in there. So first I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half, and then I'll drill the hole for this. ahead and we've measured out. That's just going to go right about there. So I just want to center punch it. All right. Bam. All right. I better get a lock washer for that. There we go. And to finish this off, we're just going to put a little bit of Loctite. All right, it's all finished up. I went ahead and give it a good sanding there, so it's ready for some paint. You can use some Rust-Oleum Rust Reformer. Just going to put a thin coat on it. I'm going to be coating this thing in grease, so paint's not going to matter that much. All right, there is our final piece. Came out really nice there. So what I'm going to do is run grease over all of it, and then throw it on there, and that'll be done. And there we go, all greased up. Now I think I have a plan for the front, and then I need to throw the kayak up here and then make some pre-tied straps that make up for it and are the correct length. On the front, unfortunately, this is a very light built car. I mean, it's a budget friendly car, so everything is paper thin metal, so it's very thin, and there's no strap area that I could run off of here, because then you get to this cheap plastic stuff there. I have been using it off of this, which is a legitimate kind of like a frame rail that goes there. There's another one that kind of goes here, and those are the things I could tie into. Originally my plan was to weld a bar across those two and then have a mount come straight out. That would work, but then my concern is that even these frame rails are very thin, and then any rod I put there, if I actually needed it, would bow very easily. It would flex a lot, and it put a lot of weight on the weld spots. So then I thought maybe I would run a threaded rod so I could go through the frame, and then that would kind of make things a little bit better, which is okay, but then it would still have me way back. And then also the other issue is I'd have to remove this whole front end to get at the inner spots down in there, because the cooler and the radiator go up to right about here, and this is all covered in the bumper and the front Honda pads there, and then the latch and stuff. So getting at it was difficult. Don't have really very much room to get here. Then I'd have to remove the underplate, the plastic there. So I started looking, and then I finally found right underneath here is an actual bumper support. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but this thing here, it's still not very thick metal. It's probably only 1/8 inch, but it is kind of like the bumper support, the crash support. So, and then there's a cross member, and then there's this bar here that goes up and down, so I could actually tie into that. Then I was thinking I could run a bolt and an eye and stuff, but then I said, screw that, maybe I'll just wrap. Oops. So it goes across here, and there's an up and down support. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to loop around that support and then have it come somewhere. I guess I'll have to come underneath this plastic bumper. That's not the best, but I'll have it loop down out of here and then up. All right, I think I figured it out. So what I'm going to need is a torch, probably a MIG welder. I'll need probably one of those mechanical cutters, possibly a chainsaw, some super glue. What else? Nah, I'm kidding. The only thing I really need to do is have this rope, and I looped it around that little upright bar that comes up. There's a support that goes across. That's kind of the bumper front end support that goes across. And then there's a couple inch wide metal that comes up here, and I guess it's kind of a support for up here as well. I just looped the rope around that piece that goes up and down, and that's the anchor point, and it's pretty strong. I don't like that it's a flat metal piece because this thing will eventually rub and probably cut. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie a knot right here, and that's pretty much it. So let me show you. So I'm just going to put an overhand knot. That, I think that'll be there. It'll dangle sometimes, but actually I can just push it back when I'm not using it. Yeah, that's about right there. And then if I spin this around, I was going to trim it, but I don't think I need to anymore because all that excess is going to be down here. I want the knot to go behind the support out of the way, and then just the loop coming out the front. Like that. And there we go. Done. And that's about it. That's my front clip for the front of my kayak, keeping it straight in the middle. And it just sits there. Yeah, it doesn't have to do anything. And then, I mean, eventually I'll probably blow back in there. Hopefully the radiator won't melt it. I guess I could probably zip tie it or something. No, it's because it's got to be up here. I could probably put a clamp or something so it's like that. But then people always come by and what's that and pull on it, but it doesn't matter. I think I'll just leave it for a little while and just see what happens. Or if I go like that, then yeah, that might work there. Yeah, I don't have to do anything. I don't need a loop or anything. That was it. Problem solved. All these years, I could have just done that. Now I don't need that anymore. So I've got my front strap and my rear strap. And then while I'm here, I'm gonna keep spraying that down because I need to get that nut off there so I could replace the front strut on this side since I did that side already. All right, so the mounts are done on the car. I went ahead and picked up these. I was trying to figure out the best way to strap these. My other ones, I just have these ratchet straps where the ratchet has corroded solid, but the length was roughly the right length. So I just kind of forced it on each time because I load the kayak the same way each time. I was thinking about doing the same thing with just some rope, which I can still offset to do, but wanted to try something easier. And I saw that they had these cam buckle style and they're ratcheting. So these are made by XRT. Got them at Home Depot for like 11 bucks. There's a thinner rope model for like 9 bucks, but I went with the heavier one for a couple dollars. But it's a single button release. So I wanted to try those out. That. So let's see if they work. I think I'm gonna go this way. It's not long enough, so hold the button down, get it the right length. That's it. This usually just hangs loose, but I just put an overhand knot to take up the slack. Yeah, that's pretty good there. The only thing I might do is it's probably easier to have this up on top, but my concern is with open hooks is that it might vibrate off for whatever reason, and then this goes crashing down and whacking the car. So that's why I put it on the bottom. So if it came loose on the bottom, it's just going to swing around but not get released. The top one though, I'm concerned about is it just has an open hook. So what I think I might do is get some stainless steel carabiners that close, and either just add them to this, so have both, because this is a lot stronger than a carabiner, or just go to a carabiner. But yeah, let's set this up on the front. So I just have these handles that I mount to. That's why I'm concerned about the open. That'll just hang like that and come off. So I can go like that, but I'm still kind of concerned with that. So I'd rather have a carabiner style, but this is just to test this out. I can put as much tension as I want. I think it's 500 pounds. There we go. Well, I put it on my old ring there. I want to put it on my rope there, but this is a good way to show how easy it is. You just hold the button and it releases. Then I need some slack, but I can do this one hand. Just hold the button and it releases. Get on my strap, pull the right side, and now I'm on my center strap. Like that, piece of cake. And this is that mount I did there. Yeah, that's definitely sturdy enough. You're not holding the kayak down with the front and back. The front and back straps are strictly in case you'll have a failure on your main straps that go around the middle. These will prevent your kayak from turning into a missile, going either forward or backwards. But yeah, that'll work. It's not gonna whack the hood there, so that's good. Nice. There's that. Oh, I did the same thing on this side. Oh well, no problem. One hand. Right there. Get some slack. Press the button. On the hook. Old dog, new tricks. There's my front strap there, so that keeps it straight up and down there. A lot better than that angled up front. Yeah, there's my new little hook there. I'll be solid. Killer. But yeah, you can see that works, but kind of sketchy. See, it just pop, bloop. So definitely need the carabiners. Like on my other ones, that's why I ran it like this. I had the same S hook, but I put these carabiners on there. These are $1.25 store ones, but not so much for strength wise, but because they close, and then I know it's not going to come off. There we go, done. All right, now that we've got the hitch finished, let me show you the final setup that I use for loading my kayak. I've got the scupper hole wheels in there. So what I'm going to do is pull this forward, and then I'm just going to lift the tip onto my back rack here. This is kind of using that leverage with the wheels, make it very easy to load this kayak. So I'm going about there. So I just have to lift up about a foot, place it on there. These are basically stops on both sides, so once I get the kayak in the middle, I could slide it over and it's not going to fall over on the other side, because that does happen, especially if you're under uneven ground. Kick the wheels out. Now I'm just going to center up the kayak, just get it squared.
right there. Then where you're going to use the same thing with leverage being the third railing there is going to be our leverage point. So I'm not going to lift, I'm going to slide the kayak. Once it gets about halfway, I'm done. So I just have to basically slide it this far to the railing there, and then the front weight will tip it over, and I don't really have to pick up any weight. So instead of lifting, I'm just basically sliding, keep it centered. Once I get to the halfway point, it's loaded. So a lot of times I'll go this far, have it hang over, and then pull the drain plug and drain it, specifically after I'm done kayaking, because this fills up with water. But otherwise, I have my mark, which is basically get the cross member and the seat opening right along this line here, because that's where I'm going to be pitching the straps. But that's loaded. My outrigger gets centered, the handle, boom. Got some slack there. And then take my straps, I double it up. I know exactly halfway because it's got the wrinkly marks where it binds up against this on the other side, but I hold it there, and then I just throw it over on that side. Do the same thing for the front. Throw it over. Then I'm going to put the back and front straps on. I've got my little handle, got our clips there, just snaps on. That holds that. Goes to my rear hitch that we just built. Oh crap, it's got rocks in there. All right, pull out some of the slack, come on this side. Grab our loops, make sure it's kind of straightened out there, and put it over the edge. 1, 2. Now I could just single strap it by just throwing the hook over, but I don't want to throw the hook over from this side and smash my windshield, dent my roof. So that's why I just do the loops, since it'll be just the fabric. Grab our front strap. I've got a black one for the back and then a silver one for the front. Clips on just like that. Goes to my front rope there. Pull up the slack. Come over here. Get that straight. Clip. This goes into the eye of this loop. And click it straight on. Just until it takes up the slack and slightly compresses it. I don't need to do it super heavy. Same thing on this side. Get that as straight as possible. Pull this over. Loop it in the loop. Crank it down. There we go. And come back. Tension these up. Pull the knot up. Again, the front and back strap aren't really tying it down. They're just for front and back in case you get in an accident. The kayak can't go forward, it can't go backwards. That's what these two straps do. And that's it. So what we worked on was getting this kayak to be straight down the middle, where before I had to tie off at an angle on this side. And then the angle all the way to this side, so it was always pitched crooked. It was always pressure on my saddles. That's why I was breaking them. But now I'm perfectly straight. Boom. And loading and unloading, it's a piece of cake. So that's why I love my car and why I put all that effort to fix all this stuff. But there you go. All right, so there you go. That is my new kayak tie down hitch, as well as my front mount. But basically, I think I can write off my kayak tie down system as being complete by doing those following fixes. I've been dealing with that stupid angled, and then with the rusted strap, so there was no adjustments on them for the tying down the front and the back. So they kind of worked, but they were a hassle, and I hated them every time I did them. But now, piece of cake. And why that's important is if the more hassles you have to go fishing, the less fishing you'll do. So the more efficient I can make it, I'm always looking out for those type of things where I can make things better, make things easier, make things faster, because I know in the end result, that means more fishing time for me. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you next video. Bye.